Thank you, Mr Speaker. This government remains absolutely committed to stamping out the appalling crimes of child sexual exploitation and abuse. The national inquiry chaired by Baroness Longfield is due to start in March. The CPS have seen a 25% increase in child sex abuse prosecutions over the last 3 years. In December, they secured convictions against 2 men in Bury for crimes during the 1990s, resulting in sentences of 28 and 30 years. We are dedicated to ensuring that victims continue to receive the justice they deserve.
Baroness Casey's audit into group-based child sexual exploitation found a collective failure to properly deter and prosecute offenders or to protect children from harm. These crimes happen across borders and in every part of the United Kingdom. So what more can be done to ensure prosecution services, including the CPS and Scotland's Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service, take a joined-up approach to bringing these vile offenders to justice?
Solicitor General.
The honourable gentleman makes an important point. Many of the local services under review in the National Inquiry will start in March, particularly child protection and policing are devolved responsibilities in Scotland and Northern Ireland. My understanding is that the Scottish Government have finally ordered a national review of the evidence on the operation of grooming gangs in Scotland. All parts of the UK must work together to protect children and bring perpetrators to justice.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Government's strategy to tackle violence against women and girls sets out measures to tackle grooming gangs and support victims of sexual abuse. What steps is my right honourable friend taking to work with colleagues to improve access to justice for victims of rape and serious sexual assault and implement that strategy?
Solicitor General.
May I start by congratulating my honourable friend on receiving the Order of Merit from President Zelensky for her tireless campaigning for the children of Ukraine. I know she and I share a number of priorities and I'm proud to sit on the benches alongside her. Mr Speaker, for too long, victims of grooming gangs and serious sexual assault haven't been heard. That's why last week I announced the expansion of the Victims' Right to Review pilot, which will ensure victims have a second chance for justice, with a second prosecutor reviewing a case before it's dropped by the CPS. This expansion has been driven by victims like Jade Blue, and I want to pay tribute to her campaigning in this area.
Patricia Phillips.
Question number 2, please, Mr Speaker.
Solicitor General.
FGM is an abhorrent practice, and I am determined to see more prosecutions. Earlier this week, I spoke at the CPS's second National Multi-Agency Conference on honour-based abuse. I was privileged to have survivors share their stories with me and was moved by their bravery and advocacy for others. I agree with them that we urgently need to improve the criminal justice response to these cases. In December last year, I attended the first National Honour-Based Scrutiny panel hosted by the CPS and will continue to work closely with them on this.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. By its very nature, FGM is of course a hidden tragedy for many women and girls, and it's important that prosecution rates are increased. One way to do that would be to emphasise and to publicise the use of FGM protection orders, which can help to prevent the carrying out of FGM both here and abroad. FGM protection orders apply in all jurisdictions of the UK now. So can the Attorney-General and the Department advise what action they can take to make the use of such orders and the possibility of such orders better known?
Solicitor General.
I thank my honourable friend for that question, and we're launching a pilot in 4 forces to test multi-agency approaches to managing FGM protection orders. What I would say is that a whole system approach is fundamental to tackling FGM and increasing prosecutions. In the spring, myself and the Minister for Safeguarding will be hosting a ministerial roundtable dedicated to FGM, bringing together every department with a role to play to come together to agree collective action to strengthen the prevention, investigation and prosecution prosecution of these offences.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Many of those practitioners who sell the heinous crime of female genital mutilation also sell exorcisms of children. Over thousands of children have died from these so-called exorcisms, particularly from the Black African community here in the UK over the last 10 years. Does the Minister have any consideration what needs to be done in the law to protect these children?
Solicitor General.
The Honourable Lady makes an extremely important point. This government is committed to tackling violence against women and girls in every form. That is why we announced our cross-government strategy for tackling VORG in December. I will happily speak to colleagues across the Home Office and Ministry of Justice to make sure the points she raises today are properly addressed.
Rachel Taylor.
Question 3, please, Mr. Speaker.
Solicitor General.
This government is determined to make the UK a hostile environment for economic crime. The CPS plays a pivotal role in deterring offenders and bringing fraudsters to justice, with consistently high conviction rates of about 86%. Last year, the CPS successfully secured the first prosecution for the breach of financial sanctions, convicting 2 Russian nationals of 8 counts of breaching financial sanctions and 2 counts of money laundering. The Directorate will continue its swift response to the evolving nature of economic crime and maintain focus on delivering justice for the public.
Rachel Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a practising solicitor for over 20 years, I'm of course aware of the rules and professional guidance on conflicts of interest. So does the Solicitor General agree with me that the Shadow Attorney General recusing himself from giving legal advice to the Leader of the Opposition because he'd rather profit from advising Abramovich demonstrates where the priorities lie for the party opposite when it comes to backing this government on economic sanctions in defence of Ukraine and our national security?
Solicitor General.
Thank my honourable friend for that question. It is utterly indefensible that the Shadow Attorney General in the other place is acting as a lawyer for sanctioned Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich. He has recused himself from giving legal advice to the party opposite on the issue of Ukraine and financial sanctions, sacrificing a key element of his role in order to work against our national interests. This government is putting national security at the heart of every decision and stands in staunch solidarity with Ukraine.
Jim Shannon.
Thank you, and can I thank the Solicitor General very much for her answer. The Solicitor General announced an expansion of the Victims' Right to Review scheme, allowing rape and serious sexual assault survivors to request a case review by a different prosecutor before a final no evidence decision is made. That's great news and it's much welcomed. What discussion has taken place with counterparts across the United Kingdom, Northern Ireland Assembly in particular, Police and Justice Minister, to ensure there is a UK-wide path to justice? Thank you.
Solicitor General.
I'm grateful for the honourable gentleman's colleagues' comments in relation to the Victims' Right to Review scheme, which will give victims of rape and serious sexual violence a greater voice in the justice system. Too often, victims feel let down by a system that is supposed to be there to support them. I will ensure that I speak to my colleagues in the Northern Ireland office to see what more can be done in respect of Northern Ireland.
Perfect.